What's up, everybody? Hopefully you are watching this. Hopefully that means I recorded it properly. I always struggle with this for some reason, whether I don't hit the right button or not. I'm not sure. So hopefully you guys are watching this. That means that we did a good job. Okay. So, and yeah, my screen is shared here. So again, hopefully you can see this. It's always tough recording it because nobody can give me feedback in the moment so I can adjust things. So bear with me if anything is not, clear. Just feel free to shoot me a message, ask. So, coming into the last week of July, we have a ton of earnings. Okay, maybe we'll just start there. We have a ton of earnings this week, which really excites me because finally we start to get some movement. We get some of these earning reports, some of these stocks that haven't moved for months and months and months. Talking about Tesla, AMD hasn't moved in a year. Tesla, AMD, maybe we get that move continuation higher from Facebook and Apple, maybe Amazon, okay, Pinterest. We have a lot, okay? So just a few notable ones here, guys. I'm going to talk about, we have Tesla Monday, okay? Tesla Mondays are really only a huge one Monday. And then we have a pretty good amount on Tuesday after hours. So Apple, AMD, Microsoft, Google, Visa, Teladoc, Enphase Energy, Starbucks. Wednesday pre-market, Boeing, Shopify, Pfizer. So we'll know how their COVID vaccine sales went. Obviously, probably amazing. It's something that you can't sell enough of. You have every dose you make is sold. So Tilray, McDonald's, Spotify. Then we have Facebook after hours, PayPal, Qualcomm. Qualcomm is a big supplier for Apple's chips. Okay, and I'm not talking about Doritos. I'm talking about the chips that go in your phone, the semiconductors. ServiceNow, a very underrated probably and not really talked about software play. So they're a pure software company and they're sitting at like 150 billion market cap. So they're quite a large company in themselves. Thursday, we have Amazon here, Pinterest, Twilio, Skyworks Solutions, and then ending the week, we're going to have some of the blue chips here, okay? ExxonMobil, Caterpillar, P&G, Chevron, Enbridge, okay? A lot of earnings this week, guys, okay? So Tesla, first one on my watch for this upcoming week. So they report on Monday, which means we're going to have 4 days of post earnings to trade them, all right? So Tesla, to me, the price action is bearish, obviously. Every other blue chip is trading at all-time highs. The index is all-time highs, and this has been noticeably putting in lower highs. Okay, and you could argue, well, it's been putting in higher lows. It has. However, that's more or less to be expected. Okay, like you're supposed to put in higher lows. Like you're supposed to go up. Look at the S&P 500. Look at the Nasdaq. Look at Apple. Look at Amazon. Look at Facebook. You're supposed to go up. So the fact of the matter is, this doesn't impress me as much as noticing that it is consistently getting sold off every time it tries to bounce. So we'll see what happens. To the downside, I would like to see a trade below this, okay? And I think it can really drop. To the upside, ideally, I'd like to see a move above 800, and then that would be a nice move, okay? Over 700 first. So, 700 has been a key level. If we break 700, we put in a higher high, okay? So we've been making lower highs. If we can put in a new high over 700, we've broken this downtrend, we should rip. Okay, so that'll be my top watch for, at least it'll be on my watch all week. I don't know if it'll be top watch all week. We'll see what happens, but I do like that we have 4 days of trading them. Whereas Amazon reports Thursday night, we get 1 day to trade it on Friday. Okay, so Tesla, we have 4 full days. Roku, not an earnings play here. However, they ripped on Friday, guys. They ripped really hard on Friday, and I'm pretty sure the volume was like crazy on this. Let me double check. Yeah, I mean, the volume was noticeable. Huge breakout, and volume was noticeable here, okay? So, and I didn't see any news. There was no upgrade. There was no new product in Europe. There was no this, that, and the other. It was just pure buying pressure. So to me, that tells me that they're front running some very good news. So maybe it must be good earnings. The earnings are next week, I believe. Good earnings, whether it be some news that come out early this week in terms of a new product, increasing their prices, this, that, I'm not sure, but keep an eye on it because they're trading right below all-time highs. Okay, the stock closed at 474, all-time high is 485, so it's only got 10 points to go, and then it has an opportunity to make a new all-time high with volume. Okay, so Roku number 2. Alibaba. Okay, these I'll touch on quickly. China has been the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party. They're the government over there, communist government. Okay, obviously, and they have been flexing every muscle that they got. And it started, guys, last year when they pulled the Ant IPO. If you guys remember that, they pulled the Ant IPO. That was supposed to be a massive listing in the United States. They pulled the plug on that, and ever since then, they've just been pulling shit nonstop. That was actually right here which caused this drop, was when they pulled the Ant IPO. Okay, so now the reason why I think that this is starting to become bullish is that it can only, and I hate that saying, it can only drop so far, but they're not going to keep doing the damage time and time and time and time and day after day after day after day. We've been seeing it every day, basically. DD this, then it was banning the school, the tutoring after hours. And then I saw that they made Tencent stop being exclusive rights to music. Nonetheless, guys, when they finally give them a breather, all it takes is some sort of good news and this thing is going to rip. Okay, so this has got a descending wedge here. So what I'm looking for is any sort of good news, okay, or any sort of finite news. So there's a lot of uncertainty with these. Like maybe they just come and they say, this is exactly what Alibaba needs to do, and boom, or the Chinese names in general. But I think that they're actually getting ready to be very, very bullish, right? Usually, guys, the bottom is when everybody's talking about the world ending, and the top is when everybody is talking about what cars they're going to buy and this and that. Okay, you need to be able to read the room. You need to know when there's fear, when that fear makes sense. Is there fear at the all-time highs? Okay, then maybe that makes a little bit of sense. Is there fear after a massive drop because people just don't know what's going on? Well, then that may be an opportunity, right? So read the room. I think there's opportunity here. Okay, Snapchat. So huge move Friday on Snapchat. Looking for a continuation. So this is a gap and go situation. Usually this will not fill for a long time. This will fill on the next market crash 6-7 months from now. This is not going to just turn over and backfill this. I highly doubt it. Okay. This has a very high probability of continuing this move higher, probably to 90. Okay. So the first trade that I'm really looking for is to break that 80 level. And then after 80, it's kind of in what's called price discovery mode, where this thing is just going to go up and up and up until there's enough sellers that are willing to cash in, or enough shorts that are willing to, meaningfully hold this thing down. Okay. And then this is mainly what I'm expecting. Okay. So look at the difference here. Look at basically the same thing here. Huge gap on earnings, multi-day run. We only had 1 day. Okay. So I'm looking for continuation. CMG now, this one I'm looking to actually short. So as I said, goes into price discovery mode until there gets to be enough sellers and shorts, then it's going to pull back. I let this thing run, from what, 1650 up to 1850. Actually, it was below 1600. So I've let this thing run a lot. I've been very patient, and I think it's starting to get into kind of a short territory. So the reason being, RSI is at an 82. Okay. It has really no support up here. So it's a very one-directional move. And at the end of the day, it's CMG. It's not a meme stock. It'll never be a meme stock. So it's a Chipotle. Okay, it's a retail store. Like, are they great? Yeah, sure. Are they groundbreaking? Gonna do anything nuts? No, not necessarily. So I think there's a good opportunity to short here. Okay, so keep an eye on that for the upcoming week. All right. And then, yeah, we already talked about the earnings. So let's go talk quickly about our economic news for the week. So this is always huge to look at, guys. It really helps you see the week like coming ahead of time. And then it allows you to see where you need to kind of be careful, where you can start being more aggressive, where do you have opportunity to make some money, where should you protect money, etc. So Monday is probably a day to make money. We don't really have any major news. Okay, we have new home sales at 10 a.m., but other than that, nothing major. Tuesday, we have, where is he? Where does FOMC? Oh, FOMC meeting begins. Okay, so Tuesday, FOMC meeting is going to begin. Typically what happens is you might hear some snippets of, Fed talked about this, that. So the Fed, and not only that, what typically happens, guys, with FOMC is it forces a lot of market participants to sit on their hands. And that means there's not going to be a lot of buying. There's not going to be a lot of selling. What happens when it's low volume? Chop sideways. And why do they sit on their hands? Because they don't want to make any crazy moves before the Fed announcement. So they don't want to sell their Apple position, or they don't necessarily want to add to their Apple position or to their Amazon or to their Tesla, because they want to see tomorrow what the Fed says. Where does the Fed think things are going? Where are the interest rates going, et cetera? Okay. And then we also have Consumer Confidence Tuesday. So this is maybe not a day to be super aggressive unless we have a good Tesla earning play Monday. Tuesday, we can trade that. Wednesday, we have FOMC announcement at 2 p.m. Powell speaks at 2:30. Thursday, jobless claims, as always, every morning, guys. This should be like engraved in your brain at this point. Every Thursday, 8:30, GDP at 8:30 as well. And then we have personal income, and then a few Fed speakers here on Friday. Okay, so we have a pretty freaking busy week. And then also, it's not in here. However, the Robinhood IPO is on Thursday. Robinhood IPO on Thursday. So that's going to be a pretty big IPO. Typically what kind of happens with new IPOs is some other more speculative names will get sold to make cash to go buy IPOs. So am I bullish, bearish it? I don't know. Well, even if you are bearish, you can't short it and there's no options. So you can't make money on the way down. So you can either buy it or you can just avoid it if you're bearish, but you can't really make money if you're bearish, unfortunately. Okay. So that is on Thursday. Next thing I want to talk about, guys, is this Delta variant. Okay. Keep an eye on COVID cases. You don't need to just read the news headlines and be like, oh, they're talking about it a lot, we must be bad. But we are getting, it is almost like a technical analysis, guys. Like, look, when we pass this 60,000 case mark, roughly 60, 70,000 up here, call it 70, it really took off. Okay. So, I'm not saying that it's like, oh, well, you need a technical analysis, but just keep an eye on it. Like, we are starting to round up here. It'll be interesting to see if we really start to move up parabolic again. If that happens, then you may want to start being careful with your holdings, careful with swing trades. When COVID happens, guys, the news can be so brutal that you get a 2% gap down and your position is fucked. Okay, whether you have time, whether you don't have time, so just be careful swing trading. Okay, so we'll see what happens. This is one thing I am starting to pay attention to. Back here, everyone was talking about it. I was like, the cases are so low. Like, that's just fear mongering like that. But now now there's some meat behind it. It's okay. Now we'll start paying attention. All right. So that is more or less the plan for the week, guys. We have a lot of earnings. We have a very busy economic week. We have a big IPO with Robinhood, and it's the last week of the month. Okay. So hopefully you guys have your goals. You have weekly goals, you have monthly goals, you have quarterly goals, and you have annual goals. Today or this week is going to be the end of your monthly goals. So hopefully you know where you're at. Hopefully you're on track to hit your goals. I hope you're planning to exceed your goals, and just make sure you're protecting your account at all times. If you've already hit your goal, don't be overly aggressive and then fall back below it and then go into a bad mind space into next month saying, oh, I blew my monthly goal, this, that, and the other. Make sure you're always trying to protect your mental capital and your actual capital. Okay. So that is it from me, guys. Hope you guys are able to watch this. That means I, again, recorded it properly. And I hope that you're all ready for a great week, because it's going to be amazing. All right. Peace.